This is Discover Crypto, and today we got to talk about the secret crypto meeting that is going to happen at the White House today. Is the Trump team going to push these banks to finally accept the rules that the crypto companies have been clamoring for? And of course, we're talking about stablecoin yield, and then we have a very scary level for ETH and Solana that we're going to be checking out a little bit later, and Bitcoin also not looking that well. Hey, we have Drew. Drew's voice disappeared yesterday. Drew, were you doing a metal show last night?
Oh, I sound like an engine right now. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel sick or anything like that, but I feel like I just sang 2 heavy metal shows. So I got some tea. I've been drinking a couple teas here. Got some ideas on the charts. I'm excited to be alive, though. I'm excited to be alive.
He is excited, everybody, and I'm excited to show you these Bitcoin charts now. Let me go ahead and throw it on the screen in a second. Where is Bitcoin going to be heading over the next week? That is the million-dollar question. I've seen calls for $30,000. I do not think Bitcoin is going to go that low, but we are going to talk about some of these levels here. Now, first, I want to start with the 20-minute candles. You can see maybe Bitcoin finally losing this downtrend. It's a little bit stuck in this parallel range. I want to say for a decent amount of time, it has now finally shown some signs of life. Tried to do a failed breakout and is trying to get another breakout going, and we might come down, retest this, and then be able to use this for support. That's on the 20-minute candle. Going out a little bit larger, I have seen people saying we got a potential head and shoulders forming, although this is a very, very large left shoulder. Drew, I'm going to throw it to you. Can we make an argument that this is a head and shoulders?
I wouldn't. No, I mean,
I don't feel like I would either.
No, that doesn't look like a head and shoulders to me. It looks like we're fighting to prove 68 is support, but what we actually need to break above and prove its support is 72. Like, we really need to come up above 72.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Let's actually throw down the horizontal line. 72 should be a number that kind of picks up on your radar. And when we go to the daily chart here, you're going to see why. 72 was a very important level. Look at this, Drew. This was the ceiling. This was the resistance. It took us a few knocks. We finally burst through that wall. And you can see here, as I accidentally move it, as I'm scrolling around here, 72K, yeah. Once again, acting as a ceiling. Now, we are in the middle of 2 different trends here, Drew. We have a longer-term bearish trend. You can see, definitely a little bit of a bear flag forming. But if you go to the short term, you might even say, well, it looks like there's a bull flag within the bear flag. So we do have the shorter-term price action looking positive for the week. The longer-term price action is looking a little bit more bearish. You really need to pay more attention to the longer-term metrics. That's going to give you a little bit of a better idea of where Bitcoin's going to be headed. But Drew, let's look at the altcoins. Let's look at what else is happening in the crypto market. Let me zoom in a little bit. We were looking at market caps yesterday. Bitcoin slightly in the green here today, 0.3%. So, I mean, we're talking about a very, very nominal gain. And looking here, Aster. Wow, feeling surprised to see that one pump. Drew, did you see CZ just dropped all in?
Yeah,
like 2-3 hours ago. This is
Chamath
Palihapitiya is one of the more famous podcasters out there. His podcast is called All In. It's him and 3 other VCs. Very popular podcast. CZ just did it 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Maybe they're bidding up Aster, Drew. I mean, when you look here, Aster's up 1.6 for the past hour, 10% for the past 24 hours. Or maybe Aster wasn't going to die. Maybe it was never a disaster, although the liquidity just certainly isn't there.
Yeah, it's something where people were like kind of mocking me for not being interested at $1. It's at 60 cents and it's been rallying, and really the amount of takeover that Hyperliquid's doing in decentralized exchanges, I'm more bullish on Hyperliquid than Aster. They're going to fight and probably try to bring this thing back to a degree, but I don't think it's going to die. It's just not being, it's not alt season. You know what I mean? It's not alt season.
Yeah, I could tell you're getting emotional about this. You're like literally choking up talking about CZ.
It's getting me choked up.
He gets you so emotional. CZ has that effect on people. Quant is up, Meme Core is up, Rain is up, Leo is up, Monero, the nice little pump here. And finally, Arbitrum is done bleeding. It is up. And Morpho, how about the Morpho gains right there? Now let's look at the big losers. Hold on real quick. Let me go back. Crow. Crypto.com CEO says, I'm basically giving up on Crypto.com to put all my energy into AI.com. and now the coin is up today. So maybe people, I think, shorted this coin too heavily after the Super Bowl ad, and now maybe it's coming back to the mean. Drew, did you see the Super Bowl? More bets on Polymarket and Kalshi than in all of Vegas. Vegas has to publish these numbers. They published the numbers last night, and Kalshi and Polymarket had more trading than all of Vegas. Now, maybe there might be the mob is doing a back alley bet, but we're talking about regulated sports books in all of Nevada that were not able to meet where Polymarket and Kalshi was at.
That's incredible. And, it's Polymarket. I wonder why it makes me really concerned about Polygon, seeing that Polygon, the price is just cascading down, while the use case of the biggest thing to come out of it, Polymarket, is just going to the moon. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are preferring stables. They open up the Solana rails. Very incredible to see Polymarket come out the way it has, though. I need to start betting on more things on Polymarket, honestly.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Now, we do have Crypto Crank saying, what is happening to Disco fam? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Price actions identical for where it was at 85 to 90K. Take a look. Resistance created. We sweep the high. Like Johnny, you sweep the leg, and then it's the next leg to the downside. Let's actually look at this chart now. Essentially, he's kind of saying what I said in the beginning, a bear flag. So the price action he's referring to is this price action right here. If you take out the red candles, if you don't understand there's a bear flag forming here, you might get a little bit bullish. You might see, all right, we're edging a little bit higher. We have higher highs, we have higher lows, and then we go out, we sweep the highs right here, and then it just cascades to the downside and then falls, and we might be seeing something very similar, especially when you look at the smaller time frames. That's exactly what it looks like. This on the 2 hour looks exactly like that did on the 1 day. Maybe we're going to push up above, but then it might be that hard move to the downside there. Let's talk about the breaking news that we're looking at today. The breaking news is going to be what is happening at the White House. Eleanor Terrett wrote up, this is from last night, so she has all the sources, and her sources are giving her indications of today's meeting that's going to happen at the White House. Is going to be between Trump's team, crypto executives and banking executives. So here's the breakdown. So the White House has scheduled their second meeting this afternoon with representatives from the crypto and banking industries in an effort to broker an agreement on the stablecoin yield by crypto firms. Similar to last week's initial meeting, the second gathering will not include the large corporate CEOs of these banks. However, senior policy staff from the individual banks will be present. As before, crypto trade representatives are expected to attend, along with the handful from the banking sector, including these think tanks, Bank Policy Institute, American Bankers Association, and the Independent Community Bankers of America. To recap, banks want to limit crypto firms from offering interest on stablecoins because they see it as a threat to their business. They fear mass withdrawals to high-yield crypto accounts could leave them short on cash for loans. Yeah, right. And cause broader financial disruption. Crypto firms, in turn, see it as banks trying to tilt the playing field, protect their regulatory moat, and slow innovation. By regulatory moat, they just mean it is so onerous, it is so difficult to achieve all the necessary licenses to operate a bank. And so they like this, what they call a moat. It prevents the hooligans from storming the gates. And so they put in their regulatory moat, which is more paperwork. You got to file with all 50 states. You got to do this with the FDIC, FOMC, SEC, CFTC, and create such a burdensome task list where you'll never get a crypto firm to get this banking industry licenses that they need. So they're trying to create this moat. At stake is the future of crypto market legislation known as the Clarity Act, which is currently awaiting action in the Senate Banking Committee. So we have a very important meeting today, Drew. I don't know if you had any thoughts on where's this going to head out? Who's going to win, Drew? Is it going to be the bankers or the crypto? Why is it the bankers?
Well, banks have been in control of this country for a long time. Century, provably, but probably longer than that. And crypto, I feel strongly that we are here to stay. They couldn't kill us, all because of cold storage. And Bitcoin has expanded to an ecosystem it's something that the banks have to acknowledge from how big it's grown. One of the more powerful things about crypto is the yield, though. So if you neuter the yield out of crypto, you're taking away a lot of the infrastructure and the use case of what's made it so powerful and grow to the point that it's at right now, which is honestly still a nascent teenager, a small child. Where we are, banks have bought and paid for our politicians, and they are going to fight this tooth and nail. We saw Scott dissent against Coinbase, calling him I can't remember the exact words.
I think he attacked bald Brian's follicle mishap.
Absolutely. He's going after bald people, so you might want to take offense to that. But essentially, right now, Coinbase is actually fighting for a very important part of crypto. It's almost a give me DeFi or give me death. That is kind of what Brian's alluding to right now. And it's ballsy. It's very ballsy for him as the leader of Coinbase, major institution that would win either way, even if DeFi isn't available. I respect what he's doing.
All right, now this is a good question. Did you party too hard for the Super Bowl? You didn't have this voice issue yesterday. Now, was there were you celebrating the Bad Bunny halftime rewatch?
No, I just, I took my kids to ballerina class and went and had a brew,
were you in the stands heckling the other children?
No,
that's not a spin.
Get off! No, I don't know what it is. It's just I got some. I'll try some of these cough drops here, see how it does for me. But I think I respect Brian for fighting the way he is, man. I really do.
Smash the like button. Every like helps Drew's white blood cell count go up just slightly. So every like creates one new white blood cell. All right, now talking about the Trump administration, I think you got to kind of talk about the next major shift that is going to happen within this administration. That's going to be the SEC chair. SEC chair currently is on his way out. That is Gary Gensler. He's out in May, March, April, May. We're getting very, very close. And the new chair is going to be Kevin Warsh, presumably here. He still has to pass confirmation. Look at this comment he's making. If you're under 40, Bitcoin is your new gold. So there is definitely an appetite for crypto in this new administration. I think as the old guard starts to dissipate and the new guard starts to replace them, we'll start to see more and more positive crypto legislation and more positive crypto policies, at least for the next 9 months. After the midterms, maybe the tune will change there.
Yeah, it's and I think we misspoke because it was Jerome Powell that's on his way out. Not Gensler's long gone. I miss Gary Gensler.
I said Gensler. Sorry, I was looking at Gensler memes earlier.
Yeah. I honestly, we were pumping way better with Gensler in place. We pumped way better with CZ in jail. So I'm just calling a spade. Gary.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at FTX stuff. I was looking at Sam Bankman-Fried. He's still writing, and then they started talking about Gensler. We're talking about not Gary, not Gary the Guzzler. All right, let's move forward here. Another incredible chart. It's talking about. I just miss Gensler so much. I wish it was him the whole time. Another incredible chart. The holder supply in profit and loss is rising. It means more people aren't profiting from Bitcoin, and the loss is growing significantly. We keep throwing this chart on your radar, but it got closer, folks. It got a lot closer historically. So this is Bitcoin in profit, and it's going to be supply and loss. And when this meets, think of all these people in profit. Some of these people got Bitcoin. We joke about a boomer buying a house for a bushel of blueberries. You could buy a Bitcoin for a bushel of blueberries. And so a lot of these blue lines, they're people that got Bitcoin at $5, $10, $100, $1,000. So there's still a lot of Bitcoin in profit. It's going to remain in profit. But then when you have the Bitcoin and losses equal the amount of Bitcoin and profit, which is going to be right around 10 million because there's 20 million coins in circulation. Historically, that is a bottom for Bitcoin. You see here, it would go a little bit lower, but then you see the profit and losses would actually overlap. Then you would see the overlap shrink. And then this would be a lot closer to the exact bottom. It's basically right there. And that takes us to today. That was 2017. Now we're looking at 22. Also, you can make this argument that a brief touch right there, but then really the overlap kind of started right here. Very, very close to the bottom and would mark the bottom at the end of this metric. And now we're getting very close for Bitcoin and profit and Bitcoin and loss to overlap. Historically, just a really good buying opportunity. I don't see that changing anytime soon, in my personal opinion. So next thing I want to we're going to throw some bullishness at you. Then it's going to get bearish, folks. I talked about the Sharp ratio. I came in with an exact day in last night's video. I don't get some mealy mouth. No, it might be in this range. What kind of range is this? No, we go down to the exact day. So if you haven't watched last night's video, I use the Sharp ratio. I look at the last 2 bear markets. I determine, it's a guess, I determine the exact amount of days that this bear market is going to last, folks. So make sure you go watch last night's video. But we're starting to see a lot of the things come into the same range. I will say I'm between 150 and 250, but you got to watch the video to see what the number actually is. Now I want to ask Chad a question. I want to ask Drew a question. Look at this. You could have shorted Bitcoin every Monday for the past 4 months. You would have won 18 out of 19 trades. Basically, Bitcoin dumps every Monday. 18 of the last 19 Mondays. I've been banging on this since October. I've seen a couple people post about this. Killa XBT, he's starting to go a little bit more viral lately. He had some really good calls from 22. So more and more people are starting to become aware of this fact, Drew. So let me ask you, will this trend continue now that more people are aware of it? Chat, yes or no? Is it going to be 19 out of 20? Or now that we're aware, they're going to go ahead and pump the brakes?
Well, remember, it was almost like that a week after the 10 a.m. scam wick went viral.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I want to say, yeah, we noticed the 10 a.m. scam wick went in the same direction every time. And then as it went viral, oh, guess what? It flipped the script. It started doing the opposite. So now are we going to see the same thing?
Right. They just might choose different times to the week to wash it back down. Weekend traders try to run it back up, have no steam to break out. And then Monday it comes flushing again. So now that it's getting noticed, it'll probably get, adjusted to maybe a Tuesday, right? I'll wait till Tuesday.
I actually don't hate that guess there. It's going to stay. It's just going to be moved to a Tuesday. Tuesday's gone. I think Paul McCartney wrote there. Let's see. I think we have a new trading call. Okay, never mind. It was a signal here. I thought a new trading signal had been reached here. Speaking of trading, it does look like the Discord popped off a couple more trades. I was asleep at 1:47 a.m. unfortunately here, but they did throw in the last 24-hour metrics there. I was just looking for it.
Yeah, we got to get that bot. We got to get that bot running.
Got to get that bot going, man. Got to get that bot going. I was looking. There was an assessment report, and you can just see all the take profits are getting hit here. A lot of TP1s, a couple TP2s, not too many TP3s in this risky environment here. I don't know where the assessment went, but Drew, yeah, get in. Make sure you're following this, and we're going to be monitoring our trades, throwing our trades in here. I threw in a trade earlier. I think it came to fruition pretty well. I put this out in the morning. I feel like we didn't wick down low enough. This was at 846. Kind of want to wait for it to dip below 68K. And we go to the short-term price action here. Want to wait for it to dip below 68K. You got your dip. You got your dip right there. I was posting this at 8:46 a.m., which is right here. I'm like, guys, wait for it to dip. Wait for it to dip below 68. And look at that, Drew. It dipped below 68, but like $20.
That's very good. Very good.
I'm just giving these for free, folks. I'm giving this stuff away like rice at a wedding. Okay. You can't get enough. Now let's talk about the bearish news. So why the hell is Bitcoin going down? It can't just be, Wall Street manipulation. Never sell your Bitcoin. Michael Saylor. Kango Bitcoin Mining said, hold my beer. It's a New York Stock Exchange listed Bitcoin miner. They sold 4,400 Bitcoin and partially to repay a Bitcoin collateralized loan. And why else? To support its pivot into integrated AI compute platform. So we're seeing yet another Bitcoin miner turning off their machines and say, I'd rather just run compute for Anthropic, for a Claude bot, for Grok. And so we're seeing more and more of this. And this is going to be pushing Bitcoin's price down because this is lowering the average electricity costs. Because now it's easier to mine when difficulty readjusts every 2 weeks. Drew, do you have any thoughts on Bitcoin miners giving up for AI? Is this killing Bitcoin?
I mean, it won't kill Bitcoin in total, but they're going where the money is. And there's a lot of government incentives that are going to roll out to push these compute powers into AI. That's where they've been telling us to our face for a year now. That's where the money's going. Now we see the ISM spiking, M2 all-time highs. It's where the money's flowing. So it won't kill Bitcoin, but it might create a really good buying opportunity for it while they shift for the short term. And, there is so much money that's about to be printed to make this AI fever dream take over. And there's a lot of money to be made. So I'm not mad about it, but I just got to call a spade, go where the money's going.
I hear that. I hear that. Now I am messaging back in the Discord, folks. We are active. We're active in there. Let's talk about another Bitcoin metric that's spelling out some bullishness here. This is the Meyer multiple, now hitting bear market levels, 2022 levels. So where is the price bottom here? So it entered the darkest days of the bear market correction based on the classic Bitcoin price indicator hitting a 4-year low. The Meyer multiple is among the indicators suggesting a bottom could be reached soon. The indicator measures the current price against the 200-day moving average, and then the resulting ratio gives you a buy or sell signal. Its creator, Trace Meyer, who's known for tracing lines in school, originally gave a reading on below 2.4 as buy territory, red line in the chart below. And we're going to dive in, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this is got incorrect information. Levels like this historically mark some of the best long-term buying opportunities here. But they also say it's going to go a lot lower. Right now, 0.6 means it's 40% below the 200-day moving average here. But some are saying, oh, no. After that, it fell even further. Extreme lows do not always correspond to a Bitcoin price floor. In mid-22, it bottomed out at 0.47, but Bitcoin would drop another 58%. This is wrong. This is incorrect. We're going to use the data. Don't listen to me. Look at the numbers on the chart. Use your eyeballs. Now, they're saying it fell 58% over the following 4 months. After it, and then it would hit 15,500. Is that what happened? So this is the full chart. You're looking at this, it's hard to tell. This is 22 over here. Like maybe it did. I don't know. But when you zoom in, you get a different story, ladies and gentlemen. You get a lot different stories. So we're going to zoom into this 22 area. So right now we're looking at December of 21. That's the top. And then it fell for about a year. December of 22, and then we find a bottom, and then we started to crab upward around 2023. All right, so they're saying when the Meyer multiple, remember, hit 0.6, that's what you see right here. You can see the 6. You can see, all right, it just hit 0.6, 40% below. Let's zoom in when it hit 0.6. So we're looking at the green line for when it hit 0.6, and then that's like triggering it, right? They're saying it fell more. What does it say? It fell another 58%. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Sorry to scream there. It's just like you're fudding. You're throwing out some FUD here. And let's see. Look at Bitcoin's price at 0.6. 20 some odd thousand. It's between 27 and 23. It jumped. So we'll just say $25,000. Bitcoin would hit. Hold on. Let me zoom in. This is pissing me off. 0.6. I want to get it exactly. 0.66, 0.63, 0.68. We're getting there. 0.62. So that's what was throwing me off. It didn't even hit 0.6. So it actually happens after Bitcoin starts falling. All right, there. 6. All right, dang it, man. This is such a. All right, we're getting in tighter. We're getting in tighter here. 0.6 is going to be. Trying to get to it. It's basically the bottom, folks. That's what we're getting at here. Hold on. I went too far. It's basically the bottom. Here we go. 0.6. Bitcoin is trading $23,000. $23,000. 58% would be a $9,000 Bitcoin. Drew, did Bitcoin go to $9,000?
No, it did not. A lot of people are waiting on that, though. You remember that time frame. Lots of people are looking for that. I really feel like mid, maybe slightly low 50s is going to be our bottom. Like maybe we can pump our way out of this, but we're not out of the woodwork yet. I'm not going to complain if I'm doing 70, 60, 50, all of them. I buy the whole swooping bottom action of this, and I'm excited. I haven't felt like buying big Bitcoin in a while, and I feel it reinvigorated. You know what I mean? Being able to get bigger bags of Bitcoin in a season I held off for a long time while we were up there in the hundreds, so I'm excited about that.
Very, very excited. Now smash that like button, everybody. Now let's talk about this Chinese billionaire. He's a Bitcoin miner. He's never sold any ETH. It's coming from this guy, Zhang Zhao, This is translated from, I want to say, his Mandarin here. If you don't know who this guy, he ran the Leebit mining pool. This is one of Bitcoin's top mining pools back in 2017. So this guy was mining Bitcoin hand over fist, not 6.125 per block reward. This is like 12 and a half, maybe 25 during a block rewards there. So this guy is crushing it when it comes to Bitcoin. This guy has a lot of Bitcoin. And right now, let's break it down. This Chinese billionaire who never sold any ETH. This is his post basically broken down. Right now, mainstream stock market's capital understanding of ETH is still at the same stage crypto was with Bitcoin back in 2014, 2015. So they're looking at ETH the same way they looked at Bitcoin 12 years ago. The Bitcoin slogan, digital gold, it's easy to understand. It's very easy for outside capital to understand, while Ethereum's smart contracts are far more complex. I've done a whole diatribe on the tokenomics as well. It's a lot easier to explain Bitcoin than any other cryptocurrency. ETH is a little bit more complex. If someone who doesn't know what a seed phrase is, doesn't know what self-custody is, then you know what money is. Yeah, it gets a little bit difficult to explain what ETH is to these people. The first major surge in the ETH Bitcoin exchange rate happened in 2016, 2017, driven by the explosive rise of ICOs. The second major surge is going to begin next year, driven by the blockchainization of traditional finance, aka real-world assets, with a massive amount of these tokens coming on-chain. This fits Fundstrat's research thesis. So we have a Chinese billionaire saying the markets are fundamentally mispricing Ethereum, fundamentally don't understand Ethereum. And he's saying, he might be saying, get ready for that $20,000 ETH.
I mean, I could see it eventually hitting that. I can see ETH eventually hitting that. It's going to take a while though. And it's more violent to the downside when you lose alt season. So, you know, the buying opportunity is on the table for $1,000. It is. I just acknowledge that. ETH is not as interesting to me as Bitcoin though. So, you know, I'm going to be buying Bitcoin first, see an uptrend come back, and then start looking at altcoins again. It's just kind of in that pattern, you know. I'm not buying alts right now. I'm not doing it.
Not going to do it, man. So you're just giving up?
Not giving up. I buy low and I sell high. That's the name of the game.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, folks. That is the strategy. That is the name of the game, folks. We got to turn our capital. We got to turn $1 into $2. That's all we're trying to do here. Smash that like button if you can get behind that sentiment. Now, Tom Lee, you must have saw that post, Drew, because they bought another 20,000 ETH from Falcon X 40 minutes ago. And this was reported yesterday. So about 23 hours ago, the man is buying more ETH, I guess 22 hours and some change. But ETH is now hitting potential bottom. Analysts debate whether ETH has fully capitulated or does ETH have even further to go. And they're looking at the MVRV score, the market value to realized value, the value of today's price, and the value of when it was last moved on chain. That's going to be the market value. It's going to be today. Realized is going to be when it's moved. And here is pulling up the chart. It's the MVRV scores. We are kind of just now breaking down below this range. This little line in the sand. This is the 0 Z score on the MVRV. And when we first hit it, sometimes we do bounce up immediately. We bounce up immediately right here, bounce immediately right there. Here, didn't quite get to it, but bounce immediately. And then sometimes we have sustained periods down below. No one knows for sure, is this going to be that V-shaped recovery or sustained period? But if it is the sustained period, ETH doesn't have too much further to go. This is a log chart, so it could be a little misleading here. But you can see here, look how far below we are. We're not like just now breaching this. You can say we breached it a while ago. But I would say it's kind of this price action. I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe you're right here relative to ETH. Might fall a little bit further, but I'm feeling close to a bottom for ETH, Drew. What about you?
I think logarithmic ETH charts are HIV positive. I think that...
Explain.
Logarithmic makes Ethereum look amazing in terms of a technical analysis. That chart, oh my God, it's about to go to the moon, but that's not how the chart looks. The chart is very much so pointing at a sharp downtrend and seeing if it can defend. That's where the chart is aimed. This chart looks like it's hitting support and is about ready to moon right now. So Yeah, I hate these logarithmic ETH charts. There's I don't think they do any good. I don't think they do any good.
Now, would you put that to Bitcoin as well?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like the long-term view. We have a lot more data with Bitcoin, but I use regular charts. I don't logarithmic it.
Sometimes it does work with the trend line, but you know, it definitely makes some things a little bit easier to see with Bitcoin because otherwise, let's go to regular. Yeah, how do you track this stuff? How do you track this stuff? So yeah, it has its uses, but definitely take it with a grain of salt. But let's talk about this ETH chart here. This is the ETH daily chart. We pointed out the symmetrical triangle, and I noticed something today in the charts, Drew. I was pouring over the charts like I do most mornings here. Normally, you always hear me say, I like it when it touches the top and the bottom. But Drew, don't you often see they don't always listen to that rule when you're looking at these analysts? They'll just run it straight down. They'll run it up turbo. So look what I noticed today, Drew. Try to get it exact here.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at that, folks. Very, very close. And then after that, it's going to be the next level to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because again, we do have a bear flag, but within the bear flag, we have the bull flag. So we have a bull flag, and then we have a bear flag that's a little bit larger. I would say, you know, if we fail, this falls. I don't think we're going to fall the complete bear flag length. I mean, you can make an argument. It's going to look something like that. I think we're going to first get a little bit of support at the April tariff tantrum swing low.
Yeah.
And so keep an eye out on this area right here. It's right around 1,400, which is pretty significant decline from $2,000. You're looking at a 30% decline right there. Let me just, it could fall more, folks. It could definitely.
Can we look at the weekly on ETH real quick just to see?
Yes. And then we'll look at ETH Bitcoin.
Okay. So, because this is where it's an altcoin, or I mean, you don't want to call it an altcoin, but you know, the bottom end of that, where is that? About $1,000. About $1,000 is a potential washout point.
All right, so you're saying $1,000's on the table here, huh?
$1,000 is on the table. I'd probably buy some at that level too. Like, yeah, exactly. Right where you're pointing at. Exactly right there.
All right, chat. Let's get chat involved, Drew. Chat. All right, Drew, give me your absolute worst case scenario number. Where does ETH head to?
About 800. I'd say 800.
You're going lower than 1,000.
Yeah, I'd be buying at 1,000 though, but it's absolutely capable of cratering before.
All right, type in your numbers, Chad. I'm gonna type mine in. I gotta be the perma bull here and say we have to have the higher low than that swing low. I just typed it in there. I'm putting in 1150. 1150. Okay. We got 700, 800. We got 850. God, I'm the bull. I'm the bull tard. Okay, we got some other people that are a little bit more bullish than me. Okay. $18. I don't know about that one. All right. So we got someone who got here at 1,200. That means he needs to wick below that level and then he panic sells. No, wait, his name's Retail Victim Anonymous. He might actually sell. Retail Victim, if it dips to $11.99, do not sell. All right. It is programmed to shake you out specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's had like the first run before it took off. I think it pulled back by like 90%.
Some of you guys are trolling us. Okay. I don't think anyone's thinking $12. You better admit 1,200.
Yeah. Dion loves to troll, but it just, that teal line is the more likely bounce point. It would be great to see the uptrend take hold again and we print a higher low, essentially where that wick went down to.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd
be awesome. But you know what? There's money flow that's leaving a lot of charts. There's a lot of overextension and there's a lot of leverage. There's a lot of leverage and the markets love taking that money out of the traders' hands before they start moving back up. So just be careful.
All right, we got people $1,000 and 1 penny. They got you with the Jeopardy there. Let's talk about ETH Bitcoin. This is something that I noticed a long time ago. I don't even know how many weeks or months ago it was in the video there. But ETH does the same thing when you price it in Bitcoin. Step 1, parallel range. Step 2, oversold on the RSI want to say it's the weekly. We have it on the 3-day. Yeah, let's go to the weekly here so we can see it. So step 2, oversold, 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 oversold. Step 3, retest. Look what we just did, Drew. We retest. Step 4, that's when you get your bull run. So right now we are in the retest phase, but it does look like we want to get a red candle that's going to touch it a second time. Really, you can make an argument that 3 different candles touch right there, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 candles touch for the retest. And so if you go here, we might have a little bit more choppy action for altcoins. This might have altcoins bleeding a bit. But then after that, if history repeats, and I'm not saying this has to play out, of course, we're just saying, history sometimes rhymes, and it's good to be aware of those rhymes. And right now here, I'm just telling you, Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, folks.
Yeah. It's interesting to look at this, and, with ETH trying to break out, you still see a lot of other layer ones falling into the darkness, right? So the cream is rising to the top. DeFi, Ethereum, looking stronger than a lot of the other altcoin sector. And a lot of the RWAs moving their way to ETH. So, yeah, I mean, Tom Lee 20 years from now will look like a genius, but he's going to be a fool while the chips are down. People will make fun of him. That's how you invest early and outperform the markets at large, right? You have to look beyond that. And yeah, Crank is calling out that Bitcoin bottom. He's looking for 35. He's looking.
I've seen some people talk about the Megaphone pattern, and in last night's video, I broke down, coincidentally, the Megaphone pattern. You will typically hit it around 5 times before you will typically have an explosive move to the downside. Chat, yes or no? Yes or no? Are we touching the bottom trend line? I'm coming in with my answer. Capital N, capital O. Drew, what's your guess here?
I think we defend low 50s if we go there. I think, this range, the previous all-time high, when a lot of ETF play and a lot of volume is basically sitting right at 60 to 65K. Yeah, we could wick hard. I think it's going to defend basically the recent highs and the guts of that ETF volume. That's what I think you're right on the money there.
All right, Grid, you're cheating. All right, you are cheating, but I do love the PFP. So a lot of people are a little bit a little kind of on the fence here. So you're saying the 50 is we are going to get that strong support. And also, if you look here, after BlackRock introduced their Bitcoin ETF, I think it's going to be right here. We told you it's going to be choppy for a while. It was choppy for a while. And then we created a new low right here, $49,000. I would say keep an eye out on the swing low right here if we are going to get into a very, very bearish period there. So that would be the area that I'm going to be paying attention to. All right, let's talk about Drew's favorite online influencer when it comes to his children, MrBeast. Don't worry, I wasn't going to say like Jeffree Star or nothing. MrBeast. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There is. MrBeast may be about to become crypto's biggest on-ramp for young users. Most people in the space aren't paying attention. So what are we talking about? We're talking about MrBeast buying Gen Z Bank weeks after Bitcoin or Bitmine's $200 million bet. Remember Bitmine, Tom Lee's company with the ETH, they're investing in Beast Industries. They gave him $200 million for an undisclosed amount of equity. Now Beast is buying Step, not Steppin' app. God, I wish though. No, Step app aims to help Gen Z users manage money, build credit, earn rewards, deepen their financial literacy. Spending accounts are FDIC insured through Evolve Bank and Trust. Evolve Bank and Trust should be named for Pokemon or something. The banking app has scaled to 6.5 million users since 2018 and has raised $500 million from other celebrities like Steph Curry, Justin Timberlake, Will Smith, Charlie D'Amelio, I think that's how you pronounce it. So TikTokers, slappers, chest bearers, and what would you say? Kid with the silver spoon born in his mouth, Steph Curry. No, he's a goat. He's a goat now. He's a goat in an animated movie. So we got goats, chest bearers, the slappers, and the dancers that are all invested in this firm here. So what does this mean? So they acquired Step Mobile, fee-free financial app for teens and young adults. It's got savings, early paychecks. You can invest in stocks. You can borrow. Sounds like a standard fintech play, right? No, here's what you're missing. Last October, Beast Industries filed a trademark for MrBeast Financial. It specifically mentions crypto exchange platforms. Today's announcement doesn't mention crypto, but their filed paperwork already does. MrBeast has more YouTube subscribers than the United States has people, illegal or legal. His audience is genuinely global. Don't laugh at that, Drew. Now ask yourself this question. How do you launch a financial app to a global audience all at once? If you're talking the TradFi route, kind of like Ripple Labs, kind of like what we're seeing, you can't. You'll spend decades grinding through highly specific, highly localized regulatory paperwork in every single country, and then sometimes in those countries in every single state or province. But if you launch a financial app on crypto rails, you are global day one. And if this integration happens, we're looking at potentially the largest crypto adoption event for young people since, well, ever? Because MrBeast, the fans don't do slow adoption. Finger on the app, 1.3 million concurrent at launch. 3.5 higher than Grand Theft Auto's PC concurrent. Beast Burger, #1 on the App Store within hours. Feastables, 1 million chocolate bars for 72 hours. It's estimated to have done more than $500 million in sales, to the extent that the content is no longer MrBeast's leading revenue generator. Now imagine that adoption velocity. Imagine that adoption cannon pointed at teenagers at a crypto-enabled financial app aimed at hundreds of millions of young people already trust them with their attention. This is mammoth. What are your thoughts here, Drew? You have kids. They do like MrBeast, so you kind of have maybe good insight into this. Is your 8-year-old going to download an app to buy Bitcoin?
Well, she has apps for crypto already, but she would be interested. Beast moves the buck when it comes to kids. Kids
and
are
not
broke.
moving kids like Jeffrey. I shouldn't even joke about that.
No, DZ, not at all.
Talk about moving, the kid's attention span.
Interest,
Their interest. Yeah.
The chocolate bars, he's crushing it. The toys, the average middle and lower class are broke. So this isn't going to move a bunch of money, but it will build and develop interest over time if he's willing to make crypto obvious that it is crypto that it's running off of. So that's what I think about it.
Now, there was a recent video. I almost want to say don't even watch it, but MrBeast did Hot Ones this past weekend, 5 days ago. It's one of the worst ones ever. It's not as bad as DJ Khaled, but if you know anything about Jimmy, he has Crohn's disease, very easily upset tummy. He's definitely a, dip the Wonder Bread in water type of guy. If you see, he can't even do a single pepper granule. This messes him up bad. Sweating,
really?
Snot, alluding to liquid explosives, all types of stuff, man. It messes him up.
Oh man, I gotta watch this. I love spicy food. I bought an entire rack of Yellowbird sauce. It's got all the different sauces, and I'm a hot sauce maxi. I don't know if you know this. It's supposed to keep me healthy, but I love the flavor. And yeah, MrBeast with this crypto or that's financial app, I think it's good to teach kids financial literacy. I do think that there's a lot of good being done by that, because look at this current generation that's trying to flop around at 18, 20 years old. They have no idea what's going on. No one taught them how to do taxes or how to invest or any of that. They're swimming naked. So
yeah, I feel like Hot Ones isn't what it used to be. Someone's saying you have spasmodic dysphonia. That's what RFK. No, he doesn't have spasmodic dysphonia. All right, he went a little hard on the content yesterday. At first, I was like, are they talking about food and the food pyramid? No, okay, that's what they were talking about. Is my guess. The no tax is going to affect resident. All right, Yellowbirds agave. Is that a hot sauce type?
Yes. Check the fridge, DZ. I've been telling you about this.
I'm a Cholula guy. I'm a simple Mexican who likes Cholula.
No, expand the horizons, my Mexican friend. Let's get some more sauces going on. Come on.
All right.
Now.
Well, speaking of south of the border, Solana's price action. Hit that like button, everybody. Solana headed to $50. These 3 charts show a textbook bear pattern. I'm just going to cut to it. I don't want to read an article. We're going to do our own analysis because we keep saying bad analyses everywhere. So let's just kind of look at it ourselves. First, I want to point out a DZ level. I can't remember what video this was. One of the altcoins ones about 2 weeks ago. I just pointed out this line in the video. I swear I haven't moved. I went to today's price action. I was like, what? So this is why we're talking about. This is just a very, very important level. And I say, look, if Solana loses $100, keep an eye out on this level. I'm not, thinking I'm like some genius. I'm just looking at the swing lows, and it's a pretty obvious spot, really. Look at the recent price action, Drew. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting.
Look at that. Look at that. Totally insane. Very, very strong support. Now, Solana is in a downward parallel range. I was like, I don't know if it's going to hit the bottom. I mean, we were bullish, a little bit more bullish then. This is, Solana was above $100 when I was charting this. And I was like, I think it was actually in this midway point. I was like, I don't know, guys. It might bounce off this midway point. Keep an eye out on that. No, it went low, but it did go to our level. Now, what is the next level? I think you obviously got to look at the bottom of this range. Bottom of the range. Let's just say it happens in March. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
This is way worse than I thought.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. $40.
$38 Solana.
Yep.
Gosh,
absolutely.
Maybe this article's right.
It takes time to dig ourselves out and to get momentum back, you guys. This isn't something that's going to just rip back and go, feverish this month. I don't think. It takes time for the money flow to start coming back into the markets. It really does. Like, and this is a good time to buy when it's down, like, look at that. It's beat down. This is what we buy.
Normally, Solana does like to bounce after a 3-day bull div. Little bounce right there, 3-day bull div. Very good bounce right there, 3-day bull div. Let's see. I'm looking. This is right here. We got a 3-day bull div that was really close to the bottom, trended upwards. Here, I would say maybe a hidden divergence, but here another strong 3-day bull div. That took Solana from $1 to $1 million. No, it took it from $1 to 250 there. So keep an eye out. We did lose that 3-day bull div, and I like how I lost that chart there. We're just going to say it was roughly about right there. Lost the 3-day bull div, printed a fresh low on the RSI. But Drew, hold on. How come no one's pointed this out? This is the lowest the 3-day RSI has ever been. All right, You know what, Drew? I was going to do just a little Bitcoin video today. I wanted to look at, or something in the charts. I think it was pointing at, I'm probably going to throw in that parallel range, or I'm sorry, that megaphone pattern. I think I got to chart ETH and Solana on the tail end of that video. Okay. So if you hold ETH, you hold Solana, you hold Bitcoin, turn on those notifications. I'm going to be putting out a video tonight, really breaking this down, and just our last level played out beautifully. Maybe we could strike fire twice here. We got Ray Dalio. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but basically saying CBDCs will come. He's a very famous billionaire that is known for predicting the downfalls of civilizations. And he did a Tucker Carlson interview. I haven't watched it yet or listened to it yet, but basically saying they can take your money. He talks about, political dissent. And this is what I want to share here. Only 3 countries have actually launched a CBDC: Nigeria, Jamaica, the Bahamas. 49 are testing: China, Russia, India, Brazil. 20 have one in development, and then 36 are still in the research phase there. The CBDCs are coming. And look at what India is doing. They're reportedly proposing an initiative to link BRICS, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia alliance there to facilitate cross-border trade and tourism payments. So, Drew, what are your, just, without going, I know you can rant on this for 30 minutes, but with your voice, just give us the short rant. What are your thoughts on CBDCs?
All right. So
is it overblown fears?
No, not at all. It's coming. And the only way to get the American public to accept CBDCs in mass is to bring them to their knees, either financially or kinetically. And so where we're at right now, we have some states that have outlawed them. It's going to take 5 years of lawfare, but these are coming. And I'm worried about the Hegelian dialect that happens in these situations. You have a thesis, antithesis, and solution, right? So we have a situation where people don't want these. It's being talked about, but could be hyperinflation, could be a myriad of different things that get into people's minds. Yes, daddy government, give me the $2,000. I need it this month. I'll take the wallet. I'll take the mark. And then you're off to the races.
All right. Now, speaking of off to the races, there's one show that was off to the races. It was ahead of everybody. It was very prescient when it came to crypto, when it came to silicon. 10 years ago, man, way ahead of time. Ehrlich, I think, is one of the better characters on there. Let's see. Read. All right. So tonight, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, TA. We're gonna knock that out, folks. Really got to put some stuff on your radar there. Also, Drew. I don't know if you can front run it, but you got one of the Druth videos coming out on Wednesday, tomorrow. Do you?
Well, I think it's going for Thursday is when I'm going to film it. Right.
Okay. Okay. We're doing, is it the CEO of one of the only coins doing well this past 2 months?
Yeah. It's our co-founder, of a project that's been really cool for me to hold. I've continued to hold it. It keeps going up.
We're talking a top 20 project here now.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere and bought it the day it came out. Co-founder's coming up, so we're gonna film it Thursday. Hopefully, I can have it edited and out Thursday night. If not, Friday. We'll get it out for you guys. But it's a pretty cool project. Pretty cool project.
You might know what it is. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments if you know what we're talking about here. Everybody, will see you folks in the future. Thank you for joining us. Smash that like button on the way out. And now a little word from our.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.